Yo, what's up, Sparks fans? Michael Matthew here with the one and only DJ. We are here, Sparks Weekly.
Yep.
The season is getting closer and closer. We're here at Media Day where things is going to get started. So we're going to hear from Coach. We're going to hear from GM Raegan. We're going to hear from the players.
Yep.
DJ, who are you excited to hear from today?
I'm most excited to hear from our rookies and honestly some of our vets like Lexie and Azura, the people that we talked to a lot last season.
Yep.
I'm happy to be here at El Camino College just before the season starts, before they take that trip to Canada to kind of recalibrate and refocus and see what they are focused on. How about you?
Hey, the setup is nice. I like what El Camino is doing, but I'm excited to hear from the rooks, of course. Cameron, Brink, Rikea, even McKenzie, Forbes, who they were able to draft this year because it's an exciting bunch. They're going to add a lot to this team this year. So I know that you Spark fans, you are excited for it just like I am. And if I throw in one vet, I'm going to say Lexie Brown.
Okay.
You know, she went through a lot last year.
She did.
But before that, she was looking like an all-star. We were talking about it all last year. Now she says she's going to be back, you know, and that she's going to be healthy. So I'm interested to hear what she's talking about how she's feeling and what she's looking forward to. So it's going to be so much fun here at the Media Day.
All right, y'all. We're going to send you to all the interviews. Stay tuned.
Hi, guys.
Hello, hello. I see some finely dressed media here today. Did y'all do hair and makeup too? You guys had stylists back there like our players? Looking good. Do you want just open comment? Or?
Good morning. DJ from Infanity TV. This question is for Coach Curt. At the draft day, we talked a little bit about rebuilding the organization. We've been in training camp for a couple of days here. Can you talk about what people you're most excited for?
Yeah, excited. You know, obviously entering year 2, coming off the draft, and getting into camp is always exciting. First 3 days, thrown a ton at these guys. 17 healthy players right now started in camp, and a lot of newbies and fresh faces. So thrown a lot at them. Their heads are spinning, but they have been energetic, and what I've really enjoyed was their openness to learn and process all the new terminology, all the new schemes, and doing it while still having fun, and most importantly, playing hard. But and watching our returners, which is less than 50% of that group of 17 that started on Sunday, watching new leadership emerge from the group. You know, we had a long-time legend of the Sparks and Neko Gumake that a lot of the leadership fell on. So it's really fun to watch others find their voice, be more comfortable in their voice, kind of a shared leadership here early in the first 3 days at camp, but loving how they're working together, having fun together, and failing together. That's part of training camp, right? Failing and then improving and growing from those failures. Thank you.
Well, thank you for bringing her up, especially so early in our press conference, because you're right. She's a part of the framework, the structure, the foundations, the roots of LA Sparks basketball. What she's done, she's a game changer. Game changer here in LA. She's a game changer in how we are playing the game today. She is, I think, one of the first on the women's side that we were able to look at and really see positionless basketball starting to develop. There's a lot of players that are playing today that you ask them who their favorite player is and was, and it was Candace Parker, and they've shaped their game after her. I can only imagine what Candace Parker would have been like coming in as a rookie in the league had she had the NIL experience that so many of the players that are coming into the league have now. But she's also created opportunities and I think set a standard in broadcasting, impacting a community, branding yourself, what she's done with Adidas as well. I mean, there's so many layers to who Candace Parker is and what she's done for this game, and we are so fortunate to have had her impact the Sparks in the WNBA. We will honor her in the best way. I can assure you that. That is something that has been talked about, but it's been her career, and in every way we wanted a part of honoring her is let her absolutely dictate the pathway. But we're excited about what's to come there. Well, Caitlin Clark's impact is significant, but so is also Cameron Brink's and Rikea Jackson's, Camila Cardoso. This is an incredible class, and we're going to see continued classes start to rotate into the WNBA in the years to come. And again, I would say that's part of the impact of a Lisa Leslie and a Candace Parker and all the other Sparks that have come before. But absolutely, we're very aware of the energy surrounding the WNBA and positioning ourselves in an arena and in an atmosphere that really this game right now deserves.
Yeah, really pleased with our three draft picks and the impact that they've had on the first three practices. You start with Cam and Brink. It's her energy. She has a unique way of making people smile and making people lead with her already. She is an elite athlete for her size. You can see the immediate impact on why she's one of the truly great shot blockers that come out of college in a long time. She hunts that. She's a very active defender, but offensively, she's played in very little pick and roll during her time at Stanford. So there's a learning curve, but watching her in pick and roll schemes that our league will be a part, she'll be a part of, she has big time potential, and really pleased with her out of the gate. Rikea, is that versatile. Working with her early, trying to figure out if she's going to be best at the 4, is she going to be best at the 3. Obviously, what we liked going into the draft was that versatility to play multiple spots and find her opportunities to score. And as you heard on SportsCenter last night, her head is spinning a little bit, throwing a lot at her, but really excited about that. And then McKenzie is beyond her years with basketball knowledge and is just real steady. What we've liked is people haven't been able to speed her up here early. She plays at a pace and a tempo that you can have success. She's got great basketball IQ, and she sees a lot what's going on. She seems just so mature beyond her years. So really excited with the start of our 3 rookies. We got to give them some grace. We got to, be there for them with everything we're throwing at them. But all 3 of them are pros, and we look forward to working with them.
Yes, good morning, Raegan, and good morning, Coach. I have a question for you, Curt. In the first few days of camp, what have you seen in the development of Cam and Rikea, especially on the defensive end?
I think I heard the question, Brad. Again, Cameron has impacted us immediately. In practice, she is extremely long. I think she's probably more 6'5" than 6'4". She has the ability to help us with rim protection, which analytically, again, how proud we were despite all our injuries last year of being the #1 analytic defensive team after the All-Star break. But we lacked at times some rim protection. So you can see that already. She can make up ground. She can cover for mistakes at the rim. She's rebounded the ball defensively, which is a big part of our defense, to limiting teams to one and done. And so again, what Cam comes in with your reputation as a great defender, you see flashes of it already. The physicality is something that she's going to have to grow into it and learn how to use the frame she has with the physicality of the post game in this league. Rikea, again, so much longer than people realize, giving her that versatility to both guard 4s and 3s. When you play her on the perimeter and you worry at times about those straight line drivers and elite athletic wings in our league, but she has the size to be able to switch and get back on the post player. So a lot of fun trying to figure out how to use them both here early in the season defensively.
Hi there, Chelsea Late, Winsider. I have a question for both of you regarding your upcoming trip to Edmonton. What does it mean to be able to be a part of growing the game in Canada, and what specifically are you looking forward to playing in Edmonton this weekend, especially having Kia Nurse on your team, who means so much to the sport in this country?
Thanks for that question, Chelsea. Well, first of all, it snowed in Edmonton yesterday, so we have to make sure the sweats are handed out and the jackets are handed out to our players. But definitely, with the Toronto game last year, this year we're getting to participate with Seattle in Edmonton. It's an effort, I think, by the WNBA, the NBA, to really just continue to globalize our game and not just introduce the W to Canada, but introduce Canada to the W, and continue to build on those relationships. Kia Nurse absolutely has great ties to that area. Her brother was just in LA playing the Kings, so she and some of her teammates were able to go and support that game and cheer for her brother as well as the Kings. So it's exciting for us. You know, what we hope, not only as a team, that we go into Canada and learn a lot about our team and be able to see some people when they actually get the uniform on and the whistles are available, how they perform. But we also hope that in 15 years, there's some little girl that watched that game in person and walked out of that arena with a new fire in her belly about women's basketball and what she can go do, and it was because of that game.
Chelsea, I'll add, anytime you can help continue to grow our game globally is really important. So excited to be in Canada. Obviously, well documented that I have a long, extensive history with the Nurse family. I coached back in college Kia's aunt, but I also coached Kia's sister in college and recruited Kia at the collegiate level to Indiana before she ultimately thought Gino might be better for her than I was. But so have a long history with that family. So to be up in Edmonton, where her brother also is a professional athlete, is a full circle moment for me because of being around that family as much as I have been. So really excited. This has not been an easy trip to put together at the last second. So tons of hats off, fist bumps to our front office to allow this trip to even happen. The amount of work that's gone into a trip that will be approximately 24 hours has been absolutely amazing, and doesn't go without notice from a coach on how much work has gone in behind the scenes to prepare our team for the upcoming travel. I'm excited to play in front of this great crowd in Edmonton and roll out against a very talented, star-studded Seattle team to see kind of where we are 4 or 5 practices into our build and 4 or 5 practices into this new era. So look at it as a great opportunity, and big picture, able to help the W keep growing.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, it's a good question, John. Unique. It's not like franchises around the league haven't put 18 or more players through training camp in the past. But with prioritization and everybody needing to be there on day one, this is a unique opportunity for our league to have larger training camps from the start. How does it impact the coaching staff? Well, every drill takes a little bit longer to get everybody reps. Intentionality about getting people the reps and opportunities in practice without sacrificing what you use training camp at time for to make sure everybody's in game shape. So everything is, being tweaked on that practice plan to take into consideration those extra players. We started with 17 players that first day. We are now down to 16 healthy players. It's just larger camps, so it's been unique. Those extra seats even in the film room are something that you have to, consider, something as small as that. But, it bodes for a very competitive camp, a lot of healthy competition, a lot of people fighting for those last roster spots, which ultimately competition in camp only raises the level of play.
I would say, just to add to it, I think, the NBA, they're 21 in training camp. So this is growth for our league, and we're proud of that growth. That's growth that the players and coaches and front offices have fought for. But I would say it's not unsurmountable to imagine trying to get 18 players quality training camp time. It is the short training camp, which is a bigger challenge, I think, the number of days as opposed to the number of players. As we continue to grow our league, these are opportunities that I think will pay off down the road for players and for coaches and front offices. As far as measuring success, I think there's a few measurables. I'd say, is there joy in our locker room? Is there joy on the floor? Is there joy in the stands? I am loving Curt reference, Cameron and how she makes people smile. This is a joyful group as they're out on the court. They love being in LA. They love the growth that we are making, the significant impacts and the differences that they're already starting to see. I think they're having a lot of fun with emerging as leaders with this group and being able to, speak to their true self in that space. And we want to see that joy sustained and that buy-in sustained throughout this season. We also measurable success. We want to see, and I'll be very transparent, we've used an eyes, ears, and numbers approach as we've built this roster. Our goal is that we are building organizationally a core four. We want our top six to be arguably starters for any other team in this league. We want every player on this roster to be high EQ, high IQ, great culture fits, great skill sets that fit the system that Curt's building. And we believe those things can all lead in the end to WNBA championships. Championships aren't usually built overnight. It takes time, but just sustainment and grittiness and resiliency and clear vision of the direction we're heading is something that we'll continue to measure our success with.
Hi guys, Curt, these are for you, but Raegan, if you want to hop in on any of them, please do. First, I just wanted to know, what is your own personal comfort level at this point? This being your second training camp now with the Sparks, I'm sure last year you were just, it might have been a lot of just things you had to get used to. I know it's a different roster than last year's, but how do you feel kind of at this point in year two? And then secondly, what do you envision the offensive identity of this team being given some of the roster changes? Who do you kind of hope to take on those major roles on that end of the floor?
Alexa, I think obviously there's just a comfort level being in LA in year two. In some ways, with some of our off-season changes and direction, it almost feels like year one in terms of a building a lot of those fundamental bases that we believe in and our schemes. But there's a comfortability of just being out here in LA. I love living in the South Bay you know, the more comfortable you are with you bring that also into practice every day. So loving all that. Our offensive identity is, again, we're not going to play as much through one person. Like our leadership, which is going to be a shared leadership approach and a lot of conversation with a group of veterans and not just one person or a person that dominates the leadership. Our offense will be the same way. I think we'll be best with equal opportunity. You saw me do that even with some of the stars we had in Connecticut, that it was an equal opportunity offense, and while there was great players there, we were always better when we had balance amongst the players that were playing. And so that is the ultimate goal. You know, love how Lexie Brown is shooting the basketball early on. You know, really excited about that. Our post depth it is showing even despite not having Azura. Again, I'm a big unintended consequence person. Unfortunately, you look at my 8 years in this career, a lot of the story has been written about the injuries that we endured through the years in Connecticut. But each one of those injuries and season-ending injuries to stars opened up the door for another opportunity. 17, Chinea Agumake's out. That's when we move AT to the 4. She's now the best facilitating 4 in the world. Does that happen without an injury? JJ's opt-out in 2020 opened the door for Bree Jones to emerge as an all-star. And you can go on and on and on during that. Last year, a lot of injuries opened the door for others here in LA to have career years. Once again, a little snake bitten with 2 projected starters with serious injuries right before the start of training camp are just going to open the door for opportunities for others. And those are the unintended consequences that pros take advantage of and may have needed just that little crack in the door to become their own bona fide superstar. So I'm looking forward to establishing our offensive identity of a collective group. We're going to play a little bit more up-tempo. We're going to be a little bit more modernized, and when I use that term, more 5 out. But again, I'm a pick and roll coach. Our system's still going to be defined by a lot of pick and roll. And I'm going to go back to my basis. Even with some of the changes, we still believe through the years of the success of our teams that have coached defensively, that's still going to be our calling card here in the league. We've got to be a physical, dictating, disrupting defensive team.
All right.
Good morning.
Yeah.
I'm Elle Lauer, student journalist at Cal State Brink in Sunrise. This is a question for both of you. This is a time of a lot of adjustment for the whole team and transition. So I was curious, how do you ensure your players' physical and mental well-being during this time?
Man, I love that question. Your name was Elle. And what school again?
Cal State Northridge.
Awesome. Well, first of all, I know our players would appreciate that you're even asking questions about mental health. You know, coming from the collegiate background personally, and I know Curt has a long history there, if you weren't attending and resourcing every single day your players' mental health, you were not serving them well. And I would say at this professional level, sometimes we forget that they're humans first and foremost, exactly the same way as you are, exactly the same way as our collegiate athletes are and were. And it's an absolute priority for us as an organization that we serve them in a way that is a 360-degree way, 365 days a year, that they really feel like they can become their best and most favorite version of themselves and are resourced in order to do that. So that is the physical health, that's mental health, that's, you know, whatever kind of health for them that they need. Spiritual health, if that's something that's important to them. And we're really fortunate that our ownership group, led by Eric Holloman, have resourced us in a way that we've been able to do that. You know, again, I really appreciate the question because sometimes we look at professional athletes in a way that is unfair. We dehumanize them, and they are women in the arena. They are athletes in the arena. They're humans in the arena, to look at the Roosevelt quote.
And it's real easy to criticize and be the ones that are judging, but they have armed themselves with so much bravery and vulnerability for us, and the courage that takes is tremendous. Yeah.
Eric Robinson, News Stitch Media. My question is, with the influx of talent coming into the W, when do you see the Sparks getting back to that prominence of Lisa Leslie and Candace Parker? Talk about the winning.
Who would you like to take that?
Oh.
Okay, go ahead. Curt.
I'll jump in first. You know, obviously, we're in an exciting time, and my whole head coaching career was taking over builds and at the collegiate level, college programs that were in a build mode, and now my second opportunity to build a pro franchise back to where we all want to be. It's a process, and again, I'm a big believer, it's cliche, but I was using this in the early 2000s when I first became a head coach, is it has to be built in the locker room first. Championships are won in the locker room before they are won on the court, and so it starts with our culture. I love the fact that Raegan and I have known each other for 25 years. First, we're acquainted as assistant coaches together during the Becky Hammond era at Colorado State, and so she also has that mindset that culture is everything. And so first and foremost, in this build process, we're going to do it with great people on and off the court. That's an important part for us. We're not putting a timeline on it, but we're also can look in the mirror and be realistic on who we are. And like last year, I look at last year as so much success. We had so many individual players have career years and reestablish themselves as true professionals. Like professionals that had been in and out of the league had career years. Nneka Ogwumike had her best year individually stat-wise from, since her MVP season. So while ultimately the goal is to play and win championships, we are pros, we all can have that adult conversation. It does take a process, and what a foundation we get to start working with 2 lottery picks, with a lot of young professionals. I'm excited. And the challenge of, superstars developing into an elite player and not just always acquiring in the arms race superstar players. So again, my coaching career is about sustained success, not just winning. From the moment I got in the league, 1 year of rebuilding at Connecticut, for the next 6 years, those Connecticut teams won more games than anyone else. And I entered this league in a time period where we had 7 of the top 10 all-time coaches in terms of records in this league when I joined as a head coach in this league. And for 6 years, we led the league in wins. But you're going to have to give us a little bit of time to do this right and to build it right, and we will get back there.
Good morning. This is Alan from Transporter Region. I have two questions about Yueru. And first, for also of you, please. And first is when you noticed the lead, and the second one is what were the main factors like going her to Sparks. Thank you.
We are so excited about having Yueru here. Say again?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to answer this too.
Yeah, he's thrilled. We're really excited about having her. Yueru is a part of the trade where we gave up the 8 pick. We got Julie Allemond and Yueru out of that. And we believe, when I mentioned building a core 4, our top 6 becoming arguably starters for any other team in the W, and then the entire roster being a highly skilled player. Lee fits that in every way. When I also speak of joy, she is bringing so much joy to practice. She smiles all the time. Even when Curt is getting on her and really challenging her in many ways, she's still joyful and smiling with the whole process. I do need to give a lot of credit to Eli Horowitz in helping assure that she not only got here, but also she's going to be able to join our team over in Canada. When Curt referenced all the things that had to get done in order to get this game going, getting players that are international players, not only here in LA, but now also turning around and getting visa opportunities for them to get to Canada in such a short turnaround, and he was phenomenal in helping get that done for Lee. But she had a great season overseas. She's a part of that Chinese national team, a significant part of that. She brings great rim protection, but we're really excited about her for this season and what could happen and down the road as well.
Yeah, I can't tell you how excited we are. And I would be bullish not to say that when we made that trade, but pick for two who we view starters was a huge trade. Unfortunately, Julie has been injured. But Lee, bar none, is the biggest surprise of our camp so far. She has absolutely been outstanding the first 3 days. She is a bona fide center internationally. She is going to impact this league. I come from a team that was built around outstanding WNBA all-star post players, and what she's shown these first 3 days is just amazing. She is a huge acquisition for us, is going to make a huge impact, and really blessed to have her, and can't wait to build the Chinese fan base supporting her and with us. We think it could be outstanding here in the LA market on what she could bring. Her understanding of terminology, understanding our language without even an interpreter these first 3 days, I can't tell you how excited. You can see I'm beaming from ear to ear on what Lee's going to mean to our team.
We have one in-person question, and then PJ will be next virtually.
Hey, Curt. Very much successful USC and a very accomplished observer. Question for each one of you. Curt, there's a tremendous opportunity with all the talent that you have here on the roster. I was curious as to what your overall theme for this training camp is for Raegan, with the great influx of attention being brought to the WNBA, particularly the LA Sparks. I'm curious, what brand partnerships are you exploring to draw even more attention to the organization?
Okay.
You know, themes for us is competing, you know, our competition, and establish who we are, and what that means in our locker room with our group. But, you know, just healthy competition. A lot of camps around the league, you can look at rosters and go, their roster's set. There's roster set. Or there may be one spot left and there's a competition between two. Our fight for the last few spots on our roster is going to be really, really exciting to watch unfold. Camp is not very long, so those are healthy competitions right now going on, and I look forward to seeing how it all plays out.
Yeah, definitely, as I mentioned earlier, we have players coming in, you know, our 2 lottery picks are examples of it, where they have already entered the league with their own brand partnerships. The most important partnership for us to make sure that we are prioritizing is the partnership we want to have with our players. On the court, off the court, I think there's great opportunities with them and their teams that they have as well, from their agencies that they're working with, some of their brand partners. But Christine Manger, our new president, she has been tremendous already in some of the existing relationships. She has Karen Bryant, who did a lot to try to plant seeds and create some great relationships for us as an organization that Christine's been able to take the baton and run with. But there's some exciting things getting ready to come up. It's not my lane to be the one to announce those. It's definitely Christine's. And there's one thing I've learned as an athlete is play your role well. And I'm going to do that.
PJ?
PJ Brown,
Hi, PJ.
Coach, what are you seeing in Aari right now?
Aari.
Yeah, Aari, you know, is being asked to do a lot as the point guard with the ball in her hands. She's creating our tempo at both ends, both offensively and defensively. As we get going, we know how talented she is in the open floor, and right now we're pulling her back a little bit because we're trying to establish how we're going to look in the half court, what everything's looking like. But exciting to work with her, finding out the best positions on the court to put her in position to be successful. But you can see that natural leadership that she has at the point guard position, but she can be a scoring point guard. So look forward to working with her, look forward to her growth in our system also.
Hi guys, I'm Omar Stetson, independent. Coach, you've been to the WNBA finals. Are there any similarities you're seeing early on with this team from your son's team? And for both of you guys, first preseason games against the Seattle Storm, how does it feel to play against NECA and Cooke?
We got a couple practices before I got to worry about NECA. But the one thing that was happening as we were building the Connecticut team was, once again, early on, it was a shared leadership. I walked into Connecticut after Alex Bentley and Kelsey Bone were coming off of all-star seasons, but we also, in that first year, traded for Jonquel Jones. We brought in both Rachel Banham and Morgan Tuck, and watched the emergence of Alyssa Thomas. So we didn't have one dominant leader early on in my time at Connecticut. It was more of a shared leadership approach. And as all-stars, developed and found their voices, then more leadership fell on to those veterans. I feel that similarity building here, where it's a shared leadership approach, and watching these guys start to develop and find their own leadership style and philosophy. That's the similarity. It's going to take some time to play again. Again, I almost look like this is in year one now with new draft picks, a couple really outstanding trades in the offseason that brought new talent into the organization, but still a little bit of mixture of people returning. I'm excited about it, and I look forward to seeing if we can model what we did in Connecticut and bring it back here and build this back into a championship level.
With the game against Seattle, NECA is also one of our queens here in LA, and her reign is bigger than just LA. She has, if you went through every team in the league, I guarantee you would find at least one player on that team that would say NECA serves as a WNBA mom to them. And we have players on our roster that feel that way. So I wonder sometimes what it feels like for NECA to, going and beating up on her kids everywhere. But she is somebody that will always have a home here, absolutely always have a home. I know Curt realizes this as much as anybody. Coaching her and also coaching against her, teams have, for her entire career, tried to figure out game plans to stop NECA. There is no stopping NECA. Understand that. There's no stopping her. There's bridling NECA, maybe, like trying to find a way to limit what she's able to do, but even that is such a challenge. I think the bigger issue with Seattle is that it's not just NECA. They have a really good team that they've put together, and again, they're a testament that it takes time. They've had to rebuild and re-identify themselves with Sue Bird's retirement, and they've done that, and NECA's a part of it.
I will just say this, you guys, with everybody in the news, right? When I came here in 2015, and Brian Agler recruited me away from the collegiate level and gave me an opportunity to transition into the pros, I walked into a time where the sparks were loaded. And that leadership in the locker room was Candace Parker, NECA, Elena Beard, and many more on that team. That was my introduction to this league. And without their willingness to allow me to coach them, they could have looked at me as established pros going, who's this little guy coming from the collegiate level? Who is this? But they were outstanding to me and worked with me. And because of the success of that 15 team, and you had people, names like Candace and Nneka and Elena Beard and Brian Agler behind you, allowed me to transition back into a head coaching role way quicker than I could have ever imagined. I did not come to the WNBA thinking I was going to become a head coach again that quickly, but it was their support. So I will always feel indebted to Candace Parker. I will always feel indebted to Nneka, how they embraced me as a first-time assistant coach in an era where I still think we should have won it in 15 and 16, but I digress. But, that championship that they won in 16, even though I had moved on, I felt very much a part of that. We built something special in 15 to allow us to win in 16. So to watch Candace retire, watch Nneka now playing for someone else, I will always feel that friendship, kinship, and great appreciation that no coach becomes who they are without working with outstanding players.
Curt, my question to you first of all is, we know in the draft you got to have a little luck players. What do you feel has been the biggest difference in the way the draft is done today, where that allowed you guys to get the picks, trade up? So what goes on in the process?
Okay, I'm not sure I heard it all.
Okay.
What goes into
During
the draft?
Things are changing now, but as far as draft picks that you guys were able to negotiate, whether it's by trade or what do you feel was the biggest advantage you guys had over everybody else?
Yeah, again, I'm not sure I heard it totally, but the one thing I would tell you was Raegan and Eli as a GM, assistant GM, were tremendously collaborative with myself and really approached it with a thoroughness of research on our drafting and what we were looking for. And so I just love that process. I'm a big, I love to recruit. When I was back in college, I loved to scout. And so we were constantly, if we weren't at games in person or attending practices, we had our devices open at 7 p.m. Eastern every single night. We were watching games on our laptops, our phones, on TV, wherever we could. And so there was a thoroughness of preparation for this draft. And we're excited on how it played out. We made some outstanding trades to not only acquire players, but also an additional draft pick, which was a lottery draft pick. So excited about the collaboration more than anything, the thoroughness that goes into all of that before we even get to draft day.
And then Raegan, my question for you. My biggest concern is about the salary that the young ladies are not being paid. Do you ever think that the league, wherever it gets to the point where when they get advertisement, wherever it comes from, that it would be part of the player's salary?
Well, I'll just say that everyone in this room and everyone that's listening has a lot to do with that. Turn your TVs on. Buy tickets. Go buy gear. Period. Yeah.
Raegan, DJ from Infanity TV, great transition, because my question is about the fan experience.
Yeah.
The Sparks have an impeccable fan experience in the arena. Can you talk about what we can expect that are new and fresh, exciting things from this season?
Yeah, I think definitely we've got, I know Christine Monger's definitely leading that area, and it is a priority for her. I know even providing more retail, getting, walking billboards out there and making sure everyone's just flooding the streets of LA with Sparks gear and spreading the word about how incredible this team and this organization and being a part of our Sparks family. It's unique. We are the OGs of the WNBA. And part of what's allowed us to be sustainable and be one of the teams that is still around is our fans. And I think the fan experience that they've come to expect. One of the other things I think that's been really cool is not just the in-arena experience, but I'm noticing, and I know that's been intentional from our front office, is all the different sports bars that are starting to show women's sports tie into the WNBA and college sports. going into a mall and seeing some gear, and even, you know, t-shirt vendors along the side of the road. I had to pull over the other day and be like, yo, that's a pretty cool Sparks t-shirt you came up with, and did you get licensed to do that? But, you know, let's have that conversation. But really, I think it's going to take everything. It is in arena, but it's also out of the arena, and we want to make sure that we are widening that reach as much as we possibly can. The most important fan experience, I think, is the product that we intend to put on the floor. And I'm really appreciative that our players, as we went through free agency, as we did draft interviews, we asked them questions and talked to them about, do you know and understand the history of LA Sparks and what it means to be in this community? And they were well educated already and excited for it. And I'll just share this experience that we shared on social. I was really intentional in wanting a very special welcome to LA first introduction for our draftees. And I reached out to Magic Johnson, and he was like, I got you. I couldn't have asked for a better welcome to LA moment. He hosted them in the Showtime suite. It was at the Lakers game when at halftime they were honoring another Sparks legend, Coach Cooper. And they spent the game with Magic, Michael Cooper, AC Green, Byron Scott, Kareem, the captain. And they talked to them individually and then actually literally huddled up those three before the end of the night and wrapped their arms around them and talked to them about what it means to be a pro, what it means to be a rookie, what it means to be those things in LA and building a championship culture. And that experience, I think, was priceless for them. So that's, to answer your question, it's all the things that make a difference. Yeah.
Yes, hi guys. A question for Raegan. The Golden State franchise that is coming next year. Can you speak to that? Talking about having a second franchise in your beautiful state and how it's going to go with it?
Well, I actually just had a point of contact with them this week and welcoming them to the WNBA, excited about the energy they're already contributing to the league and just what expansion means, but also what expansion means in the Bay and what it means to the state of California and having a sister team up the road. We're excited to partner with them. I think there could be some really cool collaborations that we do moving forward, but they're going to be so additive to our league, and we're welcoming them with open arms.
Afraid everyone's supporting Julie Curt. Nice to see you again. I know we saw a lot of inside of her last year and trying to see her, her ups and downs she went through, and she did get a lot of playing time. But how do you kind of see her role this season here, her development over the offseason and through the first 3 days of practice?
Yeah, Zaya comes in with the confidence that you see from year 1 to year 2 around the league. I'm really excited coming off of AU that Zaya is in good game shape. And what has been really eye-opening for us is her compete level at the defensive end of the court, how much she's committed herself in the first 3 days of practice of impacting that end. She's an explosive offensive player, and last year could be relied on as a spark plug offensively, but had a lot of learning defensively. You see that growth already, and while we have nearly a third of our camp first time hearing about our schemes and philosophical approach to the game, she's one of the returners and understands it, and really pleased with her competing and her defense out of the gate here early in camp. So excited about her growth.
Yeah, and I would just say Zaya has had Dawn Staley pouring into her. One of the best. She's had Curt pouring into her and his staff for a year now. And as in my role, I've spoken to Curt, I've spoken with Dawn, like what's the best way that you all have had success in connecting with Zaya and serving her, and when do you see her at her best? And it's been really cool to get that feedback. Watching her in, as he said, AU, but watching her in camp, there's a sense of urgency about Zaya right now that's coming. Some of it is, you know, the rookie year's over, maybe a little bit of the pressure of being a rookie, and you all can help our rookies a lot by being patient with them, extending grace to them, not expecting so much right away. They need a beat. They need a minute to adapt. This is an incredibly tough adjustment from college to the W. And I don't care if you're the #1 pick or the 10 pick or the 3rd round pick. It takes a bit. And what I think has been really cool is seeing how she's come into camp competing and having that sense of urgency.
Hey, what's going on, you all? It's Harvey Jones from One Good Purpose. Cameron and the kid was on the sports center last night, and they gave you all high praise, and they talked about how, you know, you guys are real intentional on pouring into them. You know, how important is it for you all to make sure they feel comfortable?
I feel like that's foundationally our job, is to, you know, resource all of our players so that when they step in, they can focus on being their best self on and off the court. So, I mean, just point blank, that's what we're supposed to be doing, is pouring into them. If you're in these roles and that's not a priority to you, you know, that's okay. That's just not how we're doing it. We're gonna pour into them 100% and, you know, really set them up for as much success as possible. They have a responsibility and accountability to do what they need to do, but we want to set the stage so they don't have to worry about some things. They can just go to work and enjoy what they get to do.
This draft class has an opportunity to really impact our league in more ways than just on the court, and a lot is asked of them. You know, like Cam and Rikea are burning it at both ends right now, and their heads are spinning. So way past my bedtime, so I still haven't seen the clip, but you know, just again, so cool. You know, obviously Chennai last year, but you know, we didn't have people in studio on SportsCenter this early in camp last year. So really exciting for them, but also this draft class in general, what they're doing for our league right now.
It seemed like they were pretty, you know, confident about, you know, we're going to really surprise people. What do you make of the confidence coming in as rookies?
Rookies are always confident.
Yeah, we love it, and that's the mentality we're trying to build, but they haven't played against some of these guys yet, so it's all learning.
Keep them confident.
Yeah, keep them confident.
All right, anything else?
Yeah, it's a good question. You know, like obviously training camp has been shrunk, and the reason for some of that is our schedule is so compacted because of the Olympic year that the coaches and general managers were willing to give up a few days to try to help our cadence of games. When you look at our schedule, we have a stretch where we play 9 games in 18 days in 7 different cities. Let me repeat that. Like, that's the kind of schedule we have: 9 games, 18 days, 7 different cities. So it's a tough grind this year. So training camp's shorter, and so we've got to throw a lot at them, get a lot in, and then trust our evaluation process collectively between the front office, coaching staff, a lot of conversations, a lot of different viewpoints, that we ultimately make the right choice for our opening day roster. And we control what we can control. Like, we just ask the players to keep grinding, keep competing, keep having fun, and have joy in it. Remember our why. It's a big comment around our team, is remembering all our individual whys. None of us got in this game not enjoying it. And so if we can find that best version of each of us on why we do what we do and why this game means so much to us, why it brings us so much joy, it's just going to translate onto the court. But we have tough choices in a very short time, but I think honest, transparent, collaborative approaches led by, not only our working relationship, but our friendship. We've had tough conversations already. We don't always agree, and I think that's healthy. If we agreed too much, then we probably would be a disservice to our organization.
Thank you both.
Yeah, thank you all.
Thank you.
Knowing that they want what's best for me, it helps me want to go out there and be confident. And, knowing that I can play multiple positions, I feel like that also builds my confidence as well.
Do you know when the LA Times for both of you, Raegan was saying you guys got a special kind of host experience at the Lakers game recently. Just what was that like? What did you learn from being in with that group of athletes?
Yeah, I mean, what a perfect welcome to LA to, be welcomed by that amazing group of men, so much history. I think talking to Magic, I think he just gave us some great pointers about being the hardest workers. We came in to help make a difference, to, help this team win. So just leaning on each other and, bringing everyone with us.
Yeah, I would definitely have to agree. Just being in a room full of greats, it just spoke volumes of who we are as people. Just taking in the things that they said. They gave us really good advice. And, as rookies coming in, it isn't always easy. So they definitely, instilled some good knowledge into us.
Hi, Sabrina Bush with the Athletic. For Rikea, I believe you mentioned you hadn't spent much time in West Coast or California before getting drafted, so I guess just what are your impressions of LA so far? What have you learned about the organization?
You said, what are my questions?
Impressions.
Oh, impressions. Oh, my impressions of LA, I like it a lot. It's a lot of shopping. Coming from Knoxville, it was not that. It wasn't good like malls and things like that. But the weather is beautiful. Not too hot, not too cold. A lot of traffic though, but we're working through that. I'm figuring out like what times to leave the house and things like that. But overall, it's been an amazing experience. I love it a lot.
And then just what have you learned about the Sparks organization so far?
I learned that we're building a culture. I learned that I'm just around amazing people each and every day. We all have the same ultimate goal, which is to win, to make some noise this year, to surprise a lot of people. And, it's just like a family here.
Hi, William Raleigh from Sporting Tribune. This is a question for both of you. We know it's a team game, but any individual accomplishments that you want to get this season, whether it's on court or off court?
I would say for me, I'm not really motivated by accolades. I think they're always nice, but I think for me, a successful year would look like, a winning season, going as far as we can go, winning, and just feeling like I made a difference. So.
Yeah, winning. I just want to win, make the playoffs, become a champion. I just feel like we all just have that ultimate goal, and winning comes with a lot of great things. When you're winning, everything is great. So.
Hello, my name is Curt. I'm assistant to LSU Observer. You don't get to this point without being highly competitive. What is the greatest difference between the college game and just 3 days that you guys have been here thus far? And how are you two competing off the court against one another?
I feel like the information is different here. The terminology, like in college, we were taught to force people baseline. If you let someone go middle, you're running. So here it's like, it's a little different, but I feel like we're learning, and I feel like that's what being in the pros is about. Just learning things that actually matter. The little things. It's not always about, how you slide your feet. You can't do like a negative step. So just learning terminology. I feel like we're not competing. If anything, we're so happy for each other. We're always telling each other how proud of one another we are, how we did so good, and just being there. And I feel like Cam and I are just developing a great relationship. And, you know, just two competitive, fiery people is going to be very scary for other people on the court. So.
Hey, ladies, DJ from Infanity TV. You two, this question is for both of you. You two both turned heads on draft night with your personal style. Can you talk a little bit about how bringing your personal style to your game affects your confidence or your play style?
I would say, I don't know, it makes me feel like a more complete player. It makes the game more fun. So I'm definitely very fiery. I love to bring energy. So, you know, hopefully I do more of that this year and, you know, it'll be fun.
Yeah, I'll have to agree. You look good, you play good, and I feel like we just bring that to the game. We're not afraid to be ourselves. I like when I look good on the court, and I feel like it reflects on the court as well.
Thank you. Omar Stetson, independent first for Cam, for both of you. Cameron, you're close with the Curry family. Has Seth talked to you since you've been drafted, or the Curry family, and kind of giving you any advice? And also, how are both of you kind of soaking in the limelight, being on SportsCenter, obviously talking with Magic, so early into the season?
Yeah, you know, I'm very lucky to be associated with the Currys. I think it's so great because I don't always talk basketball with them, so it's more just like the human experience, I guess. So, you know, it's not just all about basketball, it's about, you know, adjusting to life as a whole. So I think they've just told me to enjoy it. And then being on SportsCenter was amazing. It was a lot of fun. Rikea drove us there, and it was just great to be in the car with you and chat and like get through the traffic. Yeah. But it's just been a great experience. I think the city has so much to offer, and I'm just really happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, literally everything she said.
This question for Cameron. What do you think you bring to the team as an incoming rookie, and what aspects you think you can improve at transition all this to the WNBA?
Can you repeat the last part? I'm sorry.
Yeah. What aspects are you getting to improve as you transition?
Okay. What I think I can bring to this team, I know Curt's big on defense, and obviously it's a whole different defensive philosophy than I've been used to, but I love it already. I love that the help's going to be in the nail, and we're just changing everything up. So I think I can help a lot defensively. Offensively, I think, you know, I can be a threat, but I'm also great at moving the ball, so I'm excited to do that. And I think what I can improve is just being a threat from the perimeter, shooting the three ball, and bringing the ball up the floor if I have to.
Mike and Infanity TV. This is for both of you ladies. You go from, you know, college, and you guys are kind of like veterans on your team. Now you come to the WNBA, you're the rookies that's working on some vets. What are the biggest lessons that you learned from the veterans on your team on and off the court?
You got it.
It's been 3 days, so I feel like it's, you know, there's still a lot of learning to go, but they've really taken us in. Dearica has been huge for me. I think she's just very much like mother to me, just always about being tough. Toughness is like, I think what she's really taught me so far, like play through it, like no complaining, like play through it, doesn't matter. But yeah, I think also just like the love of the game, like the vets very like emulate that a lot, so it's been great so far.
Yeah, I'll have to agree, just coming in and a lot of information. So, you know, the vets just coming over out of their way. They don't have to help us, but that just goes to show like how much they actually want us here. Personally, Mo has been the person that's, you know, kind of taking me under her wing. Dearica, Lay, Zaya, even though she's like 1 year older than me, she calls me as a rookie, like we're the same age. But her as well, you know, I'm so blessed to even be here with somebody that I kind of grew up with, and it just made me comfortable coming in. So that's been pretty cool to experience.
We have one in person and then one virtual.
Harvey Johnson, motivated purpose. Rikea always talks about actually investments in you all, and you know, just really intentional about letting you all feel comfortable. Can you elaborate on how that has adjusted to you all coming in? And also, Rikea, you mentioned that you process a lot of information. You know, how you adapt to that? You know, with everything that's going on.
The first question was about, can you repeat the first question? It's hard to hear.
Raegan, how you all adjust to training coming in as far as the rookies?
Raegan's been amazing. I'm looking at her back there. I think she's great for me because she's a fellow tall girl. She helps me embrace my height, stand up straight, but also she's a great post coach, and she does, you know, post work with us before every practice, and it's just really great to have a GM that's so invested in us and that really, understands and it connects with us on a human level. So just very thankful for her.
Yeah, Raegan has been amazing for me. Like I said previously, she just instills confidence in me. She said, like, I would never let you forget how elite that you truly are. And that really meant a lot to me, to see how she's invested. She's on court. She always has, like, a great message to say. It's just like, she's like a Martin Luther King. Like, she always just knows what to say. It's crazy. And, like, the second part of your question, the vets, like, literally Zaya. I'm not calling Zaya a vet ever, so not her, but Zaya. She's been helping me get through this a ton. They're texting me after practice like, hey, do you got this play down pat, mode, lay? So it really just means a lot to see like they truly are invested in me and I'm invested in them as well. And I feel like we can do some really great things together when we, continue to build our chemistry.
Transitioning from playing as student athletes is a process, even though it's a quick turnaround to training camp and season. How have you guys been taking care of yourselves, your mental health, and how do you guys stay present in this process?
Yeah, I will say for me, like, we went decently far. When did you lose the tournament?
Sweet 16, yeah.
Like, we both lost in the Sweet 16, and...
No.
Yeah.
We lost before that.
It's all, I've already forgotten everything. But I think we're still tired from college seasons. And then I went and I played 3-on-3. And now it's just straight into this. So it's definitely been hard. But I think, just leading with gratitude, I think is the biggest thing for me. Like, just knowing that this is a privilege and I'm very privileged and I'm just very happy to be here. But also just sleep is a huge thing, meditation. But yeah, just knowing that I'm very lucky.
Yeah, it's been very tough, but I'm grateful for it. I feel like as a student athlete coming in as a rookie, playing against like the best players in the world, I had to learn that I have to give myself grace. Everything isn't going to just, be built in one day. I feel like, Cali has a huge time difference. It's like I'm like 3 hours behind here. But it honestly helps me because I'm a night owl, but I always wanted to go to sleep around 10 p.m. and wake up at like 6 a.m. But I feel like I've been doing that, really taking my sleep serious and my nutrition and things like that. So I've just been getting down packed, but yeah.
Willie, you're next. And then Christina, you'll follow virtually.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies. Dan, after so many years in the Stanford uniform, it's good to see you in the uniform.
Thank you.
I'm curious for both of you ladies, playing in high-profile programs, relative demand, but there's a regimented schedule. What's it been like off the court, the transition to being a professional and the demands in terms of publicity and appearances? How has that transition been? Are you enjoying it? Is it new? And if you can talk about the pressures of that new aspect now as a professional.
I would say for me, it's really nice to not have to do school. I think it leaves a lot more time just to focus on what we need, whether that's more strength work, seeing a nutritionist, stuff like that. But there is, a lot of, like, LA is a very busy city, and that's great for us. I think NIL has prepared us for that. So, I mean, we were saying, like, we feel like we're meant to be here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the publicity, it's great. It's definitely tiresome, but you just have, like I said before, like leading with gratitude. The fact that we get to do this is very amazing.
Yeah, for sure. I personally like it. Just after practice and things like that, you're kind of just grown and you're able to kind of explore, find out new things about yourself, find out new hobbies. So I feel like that's been pretty cool to experience. And the publicity, I feel like, the women's game is growing, so it's just a sign of where it's going, and I feel like it's a good thing.
Final question, Christina.
Can I ask two questions at the Dearica?
You only have time for one, please.
Okay, no problem. Hey, ladies, thank you for being here. Sorry, I'm not on stage. My voice is here. I just wanted to know, is there anything that has exceeded your expectations within your transition period to the pro and college?
I would say I've left every day at training camp, but how much I had. I think we've just made a competitive, fun practice guys, so we're not beating each other up, which is kind of nice. But I leave every day, I'm like, wow, like it's really fun. And I didn't think it wasn't going to be fun, but I don't know. I just feel like I'm finding a new love for the game again, so it's exciting.
Yeah, I think it's been pretty cool to experience coming in every day, learning new information, challenging my brain, and it's just been so many concepts that I was like, why didn't we do this in college? Like, that is so smart. Why didn't we think of that? So just learning new information and building my IQ daily, I feel like that has been pretty cool to experience.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's kind of crazy because last year I kind of came in and was quiet, didn't really say much, and just was a listener. And I'm still a listener this year, but I feel myself becoming a lot more vocal, and it's not even something that I did on purpose. It just naturally happened for me. So I definitely want to bring that role in of being more vocal, especially for the rookies, because that's what I would have wanted, and that's what I got. So that's definitely the role that I want to bring to the team.
Everyone was seeing social media platform for Zion. Coach Miller talked about you already being kind of in game shape because of playing in the AU and kind of being prepared for your second season. Can you talk a little about your experience in the AU and how that's kind of helped you in this early part of the training?
Yeah, AU was great for me. It was definitely something I needed because I was training for so many months before I played. So I definitely was able to get some good runs in. I was able to see that I'm very confident. And I saw the ball going a lot for me, so that was something that I really needed coming into training camp. And then having a chance to play against a lot of girls that are already in the WNBA, some greats. So that was something that I definitely needed. I would do it again.
Mike here, Infanity TV. For both of you ladies, you guys had your moments last season. What are the biggest areas of you guys' games that you're looking to improve this season to show everybody that you're taking that next step?
Yeah, I think for me, just working on my pace and just making sure I'm slowing the game down and reading the game, and just consistency. Just consistency with my shot and bringing that energy every single day and working hard every single day. So I would just say, consistency and my pace.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with those two. And then, of course, although I am still a rookie, I'm not even close to being a vet. I do want to teach myself how to create vet habits. Although this is only my second year, I'm learning from a lot of great people, and I want to be able to do that. And also just reading the floor, being able to see my teammates, the game slowing down for me. I feel like once I finally get it, it's going to be pretty scary. So I just want to learn how to slow the game down for me, get my teammates involved, and then understand when it's my time to shine as well.
We have two virtual questions. Willie first, then Brad.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies. Great. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Willie.
I know we spoke before after Timberland, and you were really focused on, your physical strength and building up, after some tough injuries, and they got this one back into Timberland, a couple of months ago. So just curious how you're feeling, confidence level, mental-wise, in coming into training camp with your overall physique.
You want to start?
Wait, I'm sorry, I can barely even hear. What did he say?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Raegan, we talked right into you really working on your physique and physical attributes after a couple of years with some tough injuries, and after Timberland, you got physical at times, I know there's some bumps and bruises. I'm just curious how your mental game is right now in terms of your confidence with your overall physical ability and your strength, and coming into this one stronger than the previous couple of seasons.
Yeah, we get in the weight room pretty consistently. I was getting in the weight room a lot before I even got here, so I feel good with where I'm at strength-wise, and just mentally I feel confident in where I've put myself to be prepared for this training camp and for the season. And I just want to continue to work on my strength and just keeping that consistent throughout the season as well.
Yes, hi ladies, NBA Swish. See, this is your
Zion, sorry.
You talked about how you are developing more as a leadership role in your team. Can you speak to how you are
Yes, it's Zaya, by the way, and second. Um, yeah, I just think that it's just something that comes natural. I think with the years, I kind of think about the W the same way I did in college. That freshman year, you're just learning a lot. Sophomore year, you're starting to get it down pat, but you don't have it all the way. By that junior year, it's getting there, and by that fourth year, you're that player that you want to be. So I'm just going with the flow, trusting my process, not getting too high with the highs, low with the lows, understanding that everything will not come at once, and it's just a journey, and I got to be ready for it, and just keep going.
Ladies, Aaron, this is the second time I've seen Observer. This question is for both of you. Now that you understand what the rigors of the W entail, how have you improved your mental approach towards the game, and what has you most optimistic about this upcoming season?
I think that literally 90% of it is mental. I don't think a lot of people understand how much you have to be mentally strong. You can't take things personal. Like I said, you just got to keep going at the end of the day. That's what I tell myself. Coach Staley always telling me, don't get too high with the highs and low with the lows, and that's what I live by. If I'm having a bad day, don't get too high with the highs, don't get too low with the lows. I got to learn how to maintain and just understand that life is a process, and I just got to continue to keep going.
Yeah, I would say it was nice just getting that year of actually playing under my belt, just kind of learning the teams a little bit, learning how Curt wants us to play, learning how other teams play, learning how certain players in the league play. It was definitely good for that to be under my belt, and just going into this year, I just kind of know what to expect, and like Zaya said, just it's 90% mental, so just being mentally ready at all times, just knowing your role, knowing what you bring to the team, and just being great at that.
Hi, Sabrina Richard, the Athletic. First for Ray, after having to play on hardship contracts last year, what does it mean to you that the organization invested this 2-year contract with you?
Yeah, I mean, it just shows like they believe in me, and they're willing to take that chance on me, and it just instills confidence in me to know that the coaching staff and the front office all have confidence in my abilities and what I can bring to the game, and I'm just gonna play knowing that, and build my confidence through knowing that.
And then Zach, saw your when the Sparks drafted Rikea. Just what you have her here, and what are you expecting your games to look like on the court together?
Yeah, a lot of people don't know. Me and Rikea took all 5 of our, is it 5 or 4, official visits together. So we wanted to go to college together.
I was at one of them. Tennessee.
Yeah, college was something we wanted to do together. So it's crazy to see how it came full circle. We didn't end up going to college together, and now we're here together. So that's something that I think was already written to happen. We played it together as well in AAU, so I kind of have a feel for her, but she's a way better player now than what she was then. So it's just like learning the type of player she is, being there for her as a sister, knowing that she's a rookie and I was once in her position, and just helping her build that confidence in herself, understanding that she's here for a reason. Love you.
Almost as an independent, serious question, and a lighthearted question for both of you. Serious question, with all eyes on women's basketball now, how do you guys feel about players getting better pay and more opportunities and respect? And then lighthearted question, Drake or Kendrick?
Yeah, I think it's definitely going in the right direction. We're finally getting the media exposure that I think we've deserved and we've been, fighting for. So it's just great to see the good outcomes to it. And like I said, it's just going in a great direction. I'm excited to see it. The Drake and Kendrick question. I like Drake, but I'm not gonna lie. Kendrick kind of snapped on this last diss track, so I'm gonna go with Kendrick for now, but it goes back and forth.
Yeah, I definitely think that women's basketball is evolving in the right direction, and I feel like everyone that has picked up a basketball has paved the way. Some of us have not got the opportunities that the girls are getting now, and the ones that are getting it now is going to be way more opportunities in the future. So I just think that it just shows that, like she said, we're just getting what we deserve. And I think college is definitely helping us out in that way. For example, we got Brink, one of the best college players, NILs. She did amazing in that area. And she's going to bring a lot of attention to our team as well. So I think it's definitely good for us. And then y'all gonna hate me because I didn't even know about it that much.
I
know-
just
I feel
like listened to it.
everybody's
Yes, I
beefing right
literally
now.
just listened to it yesterday.
Yeah, I
but
haven't heard it.
I don't want to pick sides, but you know,
I gotta hear it.
Kendrick kind of snapped on this last one.
Yeah, y'all gotta put me on. I know about the Chris Brown and Quavo though. That's it.
Does even the media know about that, or is it just you? Oh, okay, so we all know. Okay, y'all up to date.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Yeah, I gotta listen.
That was relatively young as a veteran in terms of bringing in leadership on and off the court. You're coming into a team that also has a bit of young players here, a bit of mainstay. But just kind of, how is your leadership role in the past 2 years? How do you see yourself kind of fitting in this group?
Yeah, you know, leadership's an interesting thing because it's so different for everybody. And I think I've had the privilege over my career to play with some incredible leaders, from my college career to playing on the Olympic team at 16 and then kind of moving through there. I'm now a veteran on that team as well, even though I kind of sit in the middle of the age group of that. So my leadership has grown in a lot of different ways, but something I've always relied on is outworking people, and a lot of that has just been leading by example. And so making sure that if we're in a drill or there's something that a coach is asking us to specifically work on in a specific thing, I want to be the person to kind of show how that's supposed to be done and do it properly each and every time, knowing that there are going to be people that make mistakes. So if they do, helping them out and just saying, hey, maybe we need to go here and do it that way, or this is what they're actually asking for. So a lot of it's been leading by example, but I take pride in being kind of like a glue player on teams and doing whatever my role is on that team. Part of it is the fact that I'm pretty outgoing. I have a big personality and I love to get to know people, and I have a big sense of humor, so a lot of me is sarcasm, but people get me pretty quickly. And so a lot of it is just getting to know one another and understanding the best leaders that I've ever played with know what each and every person needs, because people respond differently to criticism or they respond differently to positive affirmations. And how do you find each and every person's, you know, tick and what makes them go and what challenges them, but also being that person that kind of helps them build them up when they need to be built up and understand that they've got someone with them holding their back no matter what.
We have one in person. Maggie will be next virtually, and then Chelsea.
Hey, Kia.
Hello.
DJ from Infanity TV. Coach Curt Miller came here and spoke a little bit about the history that you have together. Can you tell us a little bit about what it feels like to play for a coach that you have such rich history with?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great, and it's funny, I get all the kind of different stories. I get the stories from my aunt who played for him in Syracuse, I get the stories from my sister who played for him at Bowling Green, and then I get the stories from everyone around the league as well. And so, you know, growing up, obviously, Curt has been kind of around my career this whole time. He recruited me at Indiana as well, did some official visits there and home visits, and so it's great to have a relationship with a coach and understand kind of who they are, how they coach, the system, the way he's built in every single place that he's been, and how he's been able to do that, and also have kind of firsthand experience from people who have been in that situation. So I'm excited about it. I think he's obviously an incredible X's and O's guy. I think even from the first 3 days of watching and being in film and kind of in these practices, seeing how his mind works is very, you know, basketball IQ specific, and understanding who we have on our team and where we can be successful. And that's kind of how my mind works as well. I rely a lot on my IQ because I'm not always the most athletic person on the floor, if you can believe it. And so I try to just rely on that a lot and enjoy having that relationship with him. Nice. Hi, Maggie. Yeah, Coach Aariema, obviously, I think everybody has their own stories about Coach Aariema and how he's been able to impact us. And the fact that UConn has continued year after year to have players come into the WNBA, but not only come into the WNBA, stay for a long period of time, speaks to what him and Coach Daly have built at our university. And one of the big things for me is he never allowed you to kind of settle for being good enough. He would find something in practice. For me, I think at one point it was my left hand passing. He was like, pass it with your left hand, and I wasn't good at it, and then one day I got it, and I got it well, and you know, he would say, good job, but you did this wrong. And it was like the next thing that you could get better at. And I think that's very similar in this league, understanding what it is your role is and what you need to do to be able to stay in this league. It's the hardest league to make in the world, but it's even harder to stay in, especially with the influx of talent year after year. And he taught us to kind of really stick into the role that we're in and never settle for being just good enough. There's always somebody that's coming for you or somebody that's better than you that you can get better at. And that's something I've kind of thrived on and lived with throughout my
career to be on different teams and be in different environments and be successful. No worries. Hey, good to see you. Canadians, stand up. It is a very short time that we're heading up in Canada. It's a quick turnaround in and out, and it's Edmonton, so I know some people think I'm from Edmonton. I'm not. My brother plays there, but we are from Hamilton. So, I mean, the best thing that you could probably see in Edmonton right now is the great big mall, but I'm not sure if we're going to get there because we got shoot around. But I'm excited, honestly, to have the opportunity to play on home soil. A lot of people don't understand that when you play, even if you play for your national team, you don't ever really play at home. I think I can count on my hand probably 2 or 3 times that we've played a tournament in Canada, since I've been on that team. And so we're excited to have the opportunity to go out there and show Canadians really high-level basketball, WNBA basketball specifically. I know there's a desire and a big cry and yell, and people want a Canadian WNBA team to come out. And so this is another step in having the opportunity to have people on the floor that our young women can resonate with. And as much of a hockey country as we are, basketball is very, very exciting. People want to play. People are excited at the grassroots level. So it's huge to build that. And we've got a women's national team we're 5th in the world right now, but we've been top 5 for the last some odd years. And now our men finally made the Olympics for the first time in 20 years as well. So the basketball side of our country is really excited. And I'm excited to have the opportunity to go out there and play on home soil and have my family get to watch it as well. It's a special feeling for sure. All right.
Last question, Brad.
How do you feel this year's basketball, all these colleges, how are they going to impact the game going forward?
Well, obviously, they've already impacted the game in a huge way, just in terms of notoriety and bringing more eyes to the game, especially, how well they played in college. But now we're hoping a lot of those fans are going to translate and show up to these WNBA games as well. And that star power is huge for our league. And being able to have people, when they're sitting at their dining room table, maybe having dinner with their families, talk about a WNBA player as one of their favorite basketball players. And so I think as this goes on, they're going to continue to be really successful in this league. Every rookie is going to go through their ups and downs. It's really hard to kind of just come into this league and find your stride right away. It helps that you have a lot of veterans in this league that are willing to kind of share some of those little intricacies of the game. But ultimately, once you get out there at some point, you're going to feel it. We all have our welcome to the league moments. But these rookies, they're exciting because they're smart. They love the game. They want to learn. They're willing to ask a lot of questions. For us specifically, I think Cam and Rikea can have a huge impact on our team just from watching them in the first couple of days. Their skill sets are very unique, but like I said, they ask questions. They want to learn. They want to understand, what this system is and how they can fit in it and how they can be most effective. And as our league continues to grow, these rookies are going to be a massive part of it. And I think they're all going to continue to have an impact on our league. And a big piece of it is also going to be like bringing those eyes to this league this year to see what's already here. Because we have some incredible basketball players that have already been putting out their best foot forward and continuing to get better year after year. And so that's bringing more eyes and more fans to people that are already in this league, and that's exciting as well.
Yeah.
No worries. Have a great.
You look good. Yes. It's cold in here.
There's been a lot of turnover for this team, but obviously both of you are returning. What's it like being one of some of the few returners and kind of helping pace this team and bringing some new leadership after obviously losing it?
I've enjoyed it. Just being able to embrace and take over this new role in leadership. Curt talked to us about having collective leadership and not necessarily just one person. Spent some time talking to NECA about ways that I could be a better leader, so to say, and she just told me to be who I am. But yeah, I'm excited. I've enjoyed and embraced the role. Gonna continue to do that. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's been fun. This is a role that I've been waiting to have since I got into the league. I think I thrive better on a team in a leadership position. You know, I'm the oldest sibling, so naturally that's just something that I like to do is lead. So like Dearica said, it's definitely a collaborative leadership group that we have. You know, we talk all the time. Curt made it very clear that he wanted all of us to have a voice on this team, so it's been really fun. Hi.
Last season you were kind of, looking like you were about to have a career year, and then obviously there was, issues that you running your face. How excited are you starting the season fresh and kind of having a second year with Raegan, hopefully being fully healthy?
Yeah, I'm super excited, and I was keeping journals last year during training camp and throughout the beginning of the season, and when I was looking back, I was reading that I just was not feeling well from the beginning of training camp. So to come into this season feeling really healthy, mentally I'm good, spiritually I'm good, I'm aligned. I think this whole team is very much aligned, so having that good energy is definitely helpful. But I'm really excited to build off the season that I was having last year, and I'm getting all the confidence in the world from the coaching staff and my teammates.
Dearica, your great responses with the sport you I had a chance to speak to you kind of during your first day of practice. She just mentioned that you're like the team mom of the team.
Of course.
She appreciates all her advice. What did you learn from her in the first few days of practice and seeing how her development's going?
I wouldn't say necessarily learned, but it's just a reminder for me of what I'm grateful for, and my daughter and my son, and it's just another little kid of mine. Just being able to accept that she's kind of turning to me for confidence, and I do this at home, so it's just an extension of that, and I'm grateful that she turns to me for that, and I'm sure some of the other girls, because it's just an extension of who I am.
Love that. Hey Lexie, I'm DJ for McKenzie TV. I love that selfie moment right here. So, my question for you is, it's my personal opinion that you're one of the greatest three-point shooters in the league.
Oh, thank you.
As of right now. What can we expect to see from you on the three-point perimeter, and what opportunities have you seen so far in training camp for you to continue to increase your three-point percentage?
For me, I think it's just being more confident in the shots that I'm taking, hunting for those shots a little bit more. I've been working a lot on shooting off the dribble, using ball screens more, but also being more of a threat inside the three-point line. I feel like I get defended for that three-point shot a lot, so becoming a threat at the rim and the mid-range is probably going to open up that three-point line for me a little bit more. And I've been shooting them deeper than I have been in the past, so I'm really excited to show the development in my overall game.
Our assistant independent, also for Lexie, you were the third leading scorer last year behind Nick and Jordan without them. Do you plan on becoming the leading scorer this year? Is that something you're focused on? What's your kind of mindset here?
That would be nice to be the leading scorer. Obviously, my goal is to up my scoring, but if that means I'm the leading scorer or not, that's not really as important to me. I just want to do everything that I can do to help the team win and get everybody involved. I want to get my rebounds up. I want to get my assists up. I want to get to the free throw line more. All of those things I think will contribute to me increasing my scoring number. But again, anything that they need me to do to help win, that's what I'm going to do.
Mike Hamby with Infanity TV. For both of you guys, ladies. Last year, you guys' expectations were much different with a veteran team, with Negative Janae. Jordan, now you have a much younger roster around you guys. How do you expect to lead this team this year? Does the expectations change at all for you guys?
Yeah, I think the expectations were a little less last year. We obviously were talented, but it was just new for everybody. Everybody's trying to find what's comfortable for them, what works for the coaching staff, what works for the players. So it almost felt like, and then we had all the injuries, so it almost felt like everything was just in a fog the entire season. But I think everybody agrees that we came into camp this year and it feels like energetically miles ahead of like where we last year. And maybe there's just so much more clarity like in the gym. So I think we're going to shock a lot of people. I think we're going to be competitive. We're going to be young, obviously. We're going to be fast and tough. And I think that wins you a lot of games in this league.
Yeah, I agree. I think this group is way ahead compared to last season as far as picking up concepts and creating synergy on and off the court. You know, I think a lot of people are, you know, downplaying this group because we're young, but I mean, we were, what, the third?
Yeah,
ninth?
I mean,
we finished
we
ninth
still-
last year, so
yeah.
I'm like, how bad do you guys think we're gonna be? I mean, we were pretty bad last year, so, you know, we have a whole new group, a whole new identity, and a whole new mentality, so our expectations are extremely high.
Hi, Aari Can you elaborate on how important it is to you all to have that synergy coming into the season, like you just mentioned? And Lexie, what were you doing this offseason to make sure that you came into the season with a good mental space?
I mean, I think as far as the synergy, this group of collective leadership just talked about how we wanted to be able to spend more time together. But I think when you have more youthful, I guess, personalities, so to say, and a lot of people that, you know, I mean, I have kids, so it's a little different, but everybody else, they go home and they want to be around everybody. So you can feel that, just like everybody wants to hang out with each other. And that's gonna carry over to the floor, you know, you not fall in love with your teammates, but you love your teammates, and
that happens.
And you know, you want to play for them, and that's the culture that we want to create.
Yeah, in the off season, when the season ended, I took some time off, got my diagnosis, and then started my medication on that, so I had to see, you know, how that affected my body, and, you know, so far so good. It's helped a lot. And then I started working out again. I was in the gym 5-6 days a week, working on my body, doing a lot of strength training through Pilates, not a ton of heavy lifting, you know, just so I didn't do too much too soon. But yeah, I was in the gym 5-6 days a week, probably the last 3 months. Then I went to Dallas, played in Athletes Unlimited, had a really good season there, and came back and got right back to work. So, you know, people might not see it, but I've been in the gym for sure.
Ladies, Dearica is the second Culver City Observer. As some of the aunties on this team, when you reflect on the impactful, when you reflect on impactful veterans throughout your career, which vets and lessons stand out to you, and then a little levity. What special things do you all have planned for your rookies?
Special things.
I told Cam just to buy me a bag, but
a bag?
it.
Did you specify?
Yeah.
Oh. Well,
No,
I don't have plans like that.
Yeah. I don't know about plans, but just continue to instill confidence in them. Spend a lot of time with them, talk to them, just kind of embrace them into the league. No hazing going on, no rookie.
They have to do pick up loops, deliver loops or something. We're gonna keep it real light. You know, there's a lot of negativity with this vets versus rookies dialogue that's
It's
been
not
going
like
on.
that,
And it's not
yeah.
like that at all. We're so excited for this group. We're so happy to have Cam and Rikea here and McKenzie. They've been incredible. So we want to make them feel as welcome as possible. You know, my rookie experience, quite frankly, was horrible. So, I mean, yeah, that is shade, but I had a really bad rookie experience in Connecticut. So I take that, I internalized it, and I was like, I don't ever want to make a player, especially a young one, feel the way that I felt my first season in the WNBA. So I would say the rookie that had the most, the veteran that had the most impact on me was Simone Augustus, my first year in Minnesota, and she was probably one of the first vets that really brought me under her wing, taught me the ropes of the W, you know, picking your battles, how to be a true professional. So I would say she stood out the most, and I still have a really good relationship with her. She coaches with us in Athletes Unlimited now too. Just got inducted to the Hall of Fame, so you know that's not a bad person to have on your side.
We have one in person and then two virtual. Willie, you go first, then Brad.
Thanks for having me. This is Mother's Day coming up. How has just having two kids and being a mom helped you just be a leader?
I didn't hear the last part.
Helped you be a leader.
Being a mother helped you
I would say, first, probably some patience. You know, having kids, you never know what to expect. You know, I wake up one morning, there's poop in my bed. I go to sleep and Maya could be throwing a tantrum at 7 years old. Like, you just never know what to expect. And they've taught me to just kind of stay in the moment, and even when those moments happen, to just kind of ride them out. So I would say the patience and just the love that I have. Like, I think everybody, I'm sure everybody loves their kids, but I truly, like, I love my kids. Like,
she's an amazing mom.
But yeah, I like just coming on this team just for my teammates to kind of, like I said, feel an extension of that.
Thomas, if your makeup girl.
Yeah. All right. That's enough. Thank you. All right, next question. Move it on.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies. Good to see both of you as always. Lexie, I got a question for you. We talked during that into limited. You really focused on your, wanting to take it easy. You mentioned that just a bit ago as far as coming back, baby steps, making sure you were physically okay. But toward the end of the season, you got a really special conversation with Savannah, and I thought it was, really great of you to really embrace that. How much did that help your mental clarity coming out of that retirement and sort of finalize and bring finality to your comeback from a mental standpoint?
Yeah, it was, well, one, because Savannah also has Crohn's, it was really nice to have a conversation about that with her. We related on that, and we had so many similar stories and hardships, so it was nice being able to talk through that with her. It also was just nice to, lay it out on the table, because for so long I didn't have any answers for people, and that was kind of hard to deal with. So I was definitely back and forth with even sharing what my Crohn's diagnosis was at all. And honestly, Savannah really was the only reason why I decided to sit down and really have a real talk about it, because we could relate with it. And we had a really amazing conversation. Obviously, that all wasn't shown in the video, but we were in there for about 2 hours just chopping it up about our experiences with Crohn's and dealing with it. And just the amount of people that I've already have reached out to me and left really nice messages about, maybe they know somebody that deals with Crohn's, that they have Crohn's themselves. Larry Nance Jr. actually reached out after he saw the video, because he's an NBA player that deals with Crohn's, so it was really cool that the video reached him. And hopefully we can work together in the future with, his foundation, and I'm working with the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation still. So just bringing more awareness and inspiring people, because it is not an easy thing to deal with. So my hopes was to just be able to show people that, it's something that you can live a very active and happy life with.
Thank you, ladies. Looking forward to seeing you ladies.
Last question, Brad.
Yes, hi ladies, WNBA, so much. Dearica, Cam has spoken so highly of you, she's referred to you as her second mom. Can you speak to what that relationship is like and how close you two have gotten?
Very fast. We talked on social media here and there prior to her being drafted at kind of the back end of her senior season and at Stanford. And then, when things started happening, knowing that she was going to leave, I knew it was a possibility that we were going to have her here. And just spent some time with her at the draft also, and just kind of reassured her that whatever was meant to happen was going to happen. And then after she got drafted, she told me she loved me. And then so just trying to support her emotionally and just kind of get her to calm down a bit and just embrace what's happening and let her know that she's going to be okay. So I think just the reassurance and the positivity that I've just kind of poured into her means a lot to her, and I'm happy to know that she feels it.
Every day, just evaluating what does the team need. So coach talks about in film, what our focuses are for the day. And so me being a vet, Aari also being a couple years in the league, just taking into account what coach is asking for and just executing that at a high level. Communication, doing the intangibles, high energy, work ethic. I think those are the things that you start with at a baseline, and then from there, just making your shots, doing the things that you worked on in the off season, being a great teammate. And so, yeah, just trying to do those things at a high level every single day.
For me, just with this short training camp, I want to come in and just show that I can run a team, organize the offense, and just set the tone defensively. And like Mo said, just applying what we're doing in film and what the focuses are for that day. And just for both of us, just to prove, that we got more in the tank. Like, we're not going to be like boxed in, but, just to keep like proving that we're those dogs.
Yep.
Hey, DJ from Infanity TV. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
This question is for Monique. From UCLA to ATL, what does it mean to you to be back in LA?
It's such a blessing. It's very surreal because I was the young girl coming to the Sparks games, watching Candace Parker, watching Lisa Leslie. Being here is very full circle, so I'm not taking it for granted. I feel like I might have taken my time at UCLA for granted at times just because it's home, but just through maturity and just understanding how much of a privilege and a blessing it is to be here, not taking any moments for granted. I'm just really excited. Thanks.
Mike Matthew here from Family TV. It's for you, Aari. Just being that point guard for this team so far this training camp, what have you seen from the young players around you that you really like, and what things are you hoping to be able to help them improve on as the training camp goes?
These young players are so talented. You have Rikea, you have Cam, you have McKenzie, just these rookies coming in. Like, they're not the same as previous draft class. Like, these ladies, like, they're very versatile. And so I've been very impressed by them and just how they've been grasping everything that's been thrown their way. And I know it's hard. Like, training camp, like, it's a lot of learning. It's not like college. So, I mean, they're doing a great job of catching on. And they're not afraid to ask questions. I know that's hard as a young person coming in. Just, they don't want to, look like, they don't know anything. But, like, it's really impressive, and I'm glad they're always having that approach, like, to learn, and they want to learn. And so just, for me, I just want to keep leading, just keep stepping out my comfort zone. This is my 4th year, and I really don't consider myself a vet. I mean, I feel like I'm still a young player. I still have a lot of learning to do, and so just always asking Lay. Lay's been big for me throughout these last couple of days, and so just been picking and choosing and just asking her questions, picking her brain, and so, I mean, I will definitely want to lead this team.
Can you elaborate on just what you all released and you all bring to the scene this year? And then I have another question for Aari. You were pretty much following this. How do you feel like you're going to translate what language from this to the scene?
You got it.
What I want to bring to this team is just my defense abilities. Just being this nation's defender, I take pride in that. Guarding the ball, guarding other teams, point guard are their best scorers. And just being that person, being confident, running the team, being that floor general, being that extension of Curt on the floor. Yeah. And just for me, just coming back from Australia, having a big year, I think I got my confidence back. I feel like I've grown my game, and I want to apply that. Just confidence is everything. So I want to take that approach and bring it here and just make sure that, everything is running smooth, and I'm just, pushing my teammates, putting them in great spots for them to be successful this year.
She's doing that, y'all. You touched on leadership. Leading by example, I think that's going to be big for me. Again, being a vet, having been in this league for 7 years now, when coach says something the first time, get it done the first time. And yes, mistakes are going to happen. That's a part of the game. But again, just being coachable from the top down and showing these young guys that it's okay to be coached hard and to play through it and to have a humble spirit and just continue to come in and put the work in daily.
This question is for you. obviously a lot of talk about Cam coming in as the number 2 pick. What's it been like working with her at that position, as opposed to what kind of challenges do you anticipate a rookie having coming in at that position, and how do you kind of plan to help her get through some of those?
Yeah, I mean, I would say all of the rookies have been extremely just coachable. Very coachable spirits. They've been like sponges, which I think is the best thing a rookie can do. Coming into this league, it's hard. It's a shift and just an adjustment. You're coming from the top program, wherever you came from, and into a big pond as a little fish sometimes. But I feel like all 3 of our rookies have been, like I said, extremely coachable, willing to learn, willing to grow. They've been going hard, like they've been putting in the work too. So it's been really exciting to see. I'm excited for you guys to see this season.
Omar Stetson, independent. There's a lot of West Coast folks on this team. I see a lot of support that you guys show each other on social media, how you've been able to build team chemistry so quickly with each other, and also, I forgot my second question, but also, where are the strengths and the weaknesses of your team so far that you've seen the training camp?
I would say a strength of ours is just our spirit. I think we have a fighting spirit. We've already gone through just different challenges. You're going to go through challenges, but I don't think that we've let those challenges, 1, define us, and 2, stop us from continuing to go. And then something that I think we're continuing to improve on is just our chemistry, and that's just going to come with time. But just so many new players trying to figure each other out, it takes time. And so being patient with one another, understanding a new system, it's going to take some time. And I think we just all have to understand that and be patient with ourselves and with each other.
I think one of our strengths will have to be our speed and also our versatility. I don't just have to bring the ball up or push in transition. We have so many, versatile guards. Even we have Rikea who can lead a break. So I think that will help a lot. And just like Mo said, one of our challenges is just, getting to know each other, getting familiar with people's tendencies, where they like the ball. So like you said, we'll get better with time, and we'll have our first test, see what that's like on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Up next, we'll have Kia Nurse.
Good morning, ladies. I'm DJ from Infanity TV, and this question is for McKenzie. I watched you play a lot at USC. So can you talk about what it feels like to stay home here in LA and now be in training camp with the Sparks?
Yeah, it's definitely like the best feeling ever to get to stay home in LA, continue to play in front of fans that we made this past year, but also family. Obviously, it makes the travel a lot easier for them. So, just super grateful for the opportunity given to me by this staff, by this front office, to be able to try to prove myself here in LA.
Everyone, this is Cedric Culverson. McKenzie, this question is for you. You told me while you were playing at USC that your grandfather helped you. He played a significant role in your intellectual approach towards the game. Now, as a professional hooper, what conversations with school have you had that are preparing you for what's in store?
Yeah, my father played a big role. We grew up watching a lot of basketball together. The conversations we had, I think, have just been, he's super proud of me, just telling me to keep doing what I've been doing my whole life, and just go out there and work hard, listen to what coaches are asking of me, and just continue to be myself. So I think we're just grateful to be in this moment and be able to share it together.
Hi, Sabrina Worship from Athletic. Steph, we were all really excited to see you last year, and I so that didn't work out, but I'm just curious how you're feeling health-wise and how you've been able to develop your game against your rehab.
Yeah, I'm super excited to be here. Obviously, Devo, I missed last year, but yeah, body's good, knee's good. Definitely spent a lot of time in the weight room, so stronger, fitter, faster than I was before. So hopefully that can translate and help me in my basketball game, but then definitely had time to work on some basketball stuff, like handles, some shooting, and just hone into those specifics, yeah.
And then McKenzie, Raegan talked about how she set up all the draftees to go with bigger game when Magic and a bunch of the
Yeah, that was probably one of the coolest experiences of my life. I don't think I fully soaked that in yet, but yeah, a lot of those guys were just telling us, come into training camp with that dog mentality, with a winning mentality. Obviously soak everything in you can from your vets, and just be a sponge and try to learn.
The LA Times, McKenzie, just going off of that, being a sponge, what's the biggest thing you've learned from the vets so far? It's so hard to make this league as a rookie generalist, specifically around draft pick, and what do you hope you can show this coaching staff to try to earn their spot here?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing I've learned from the vets is just like the details matter so much. Like you might think you've sprinted to the corner, but you need to be like one extra foot in the corner. Like those things really matter. And then just trying not to make the same mistake twice. If someone in front of you gets corrected, like that's your correction as well. So just taking everything we learn in the film room, and another term we like to use is like board to court. So just trying to really transfer those things that we're saying, those truths that we're trying to have as a team, as an organization, and really be someone who shows like, okay, I'm implementing these things like in live play.
Mike Matthew here at Profanity TV. Sorry, with you, McKenzie. Just what is the biggest adjustment when it comes to playing now, being in training camp, on the court when it comes to the WNBA compared to your time in college?
Yeah, not to copy what I just said, but I think the details like really, really matter. I think in college, especially being one of the better players, you can get away with, oh, maybe I didn't run all the way here, I didn't set the perfect screen, but here you really have to be extremely intentional and detailed every single possession. Like, am I in the right spot? Am I throwing the perfect pass to my post player? And then the other thing I would say is just like talking is huge.
And then for you, Stephanie, just, the last year's roster when you were expected to play before the injury, a lot more vets in the backcourt. Now you see the backcourt is a lot of younger players other than you and Lasia. So how are you going to be able to help Lasia lead this young group of guards?
Yes, definitely a different roster than what I originally signed with, a lot younger. But super happy to be here and be a part of the rebuild and hopefully show just some, poise down the stretch and things like that, just settle the nerves and help the team in those situations.
Our Citizen Independent, another USC question from McKenzie as a fellow church and myself. How did the deep tournament run this year kind of impact you, and what are you taking from it into this season as a professional?
Yeah, I think the tournament run just gave me a lot of confidence as a player. Made me grateful for my 1 year at USC. I think the longer you can keep playing and obviously winning is fun. So that group holds a special place in my heart for sure. And then, what I take with me, I think it's just the confidence, that I can play with the best of the best on a high stage.
We have 2 virtual questions. Brad first, and we'll finish with Willie.
Yes, I think ladies, Brad, NBA situation. McKenzie are playing high school ball in Sacramento, then USC, now the Sparks, and then their basketball family. Can you speak to what it means to have this opportunity to play so close to home and how your support of your family drives you?
Yeah, it means everything to me. It's honestly a dream come true. This is like everything I dreamed about growing up. My very first WNBA game was a Sparks game, so just means a lot to me and my family and my support system, obviously, and the fact that it's local and they can come watch games. It's a dream come true.
McKenzie, last time we spoke, we were in Las Vegas and you were on the dais as a Pac-12 champion. The ladies talked so much about the chemistry and the bond that was built with this team, how special it was. You spoke about your route to USC, starting at Cal, then Harvard, and LG bringing you to USC. Those transitions, how has that helped sort of just ease into a whole new roster, building chemistry with a whole new group? Because that was very important to you in how that came together. How has that sort of just eased your transition to the Sparks?
Yeah, I think if anything, I'm just used to like those transitionary periods. I played for 3 different head coaches in my college career, obviously like a couple different teams. So I think just coming in here, I've just been trying to tell myself, obviously it's a lot of change, a lot of new stuff, and it is the next level, but just trying to tell myself, like, you know, you've done hard things before, you've been through transitionary periods before, having to make new teammates, having to, you know, learn your role, be a follower, and kind of take the lead from those people who have been here. So I think it definitely has helped me in that way.
Just one more quick stuff. You got to play, or see Aari play the WNBL this year. I think that Shanice Swain was also playing this season. What did you learn about their games and how, I don't think she's kind of a wizard, how they can fit in with you on the Sparks?
Sorry, who did you say her first name?
Aari McDonald.
Oh, yeah, Aari was super impressive this season. Watching her game, obviously from Atlanta, but then come to Australia and literally dominate. I think if she didn't have that injury halfway through the season, she would have been with Jordan in top 2 for the MVP candidate. But I'm really excited to play with her. She's fast, she's explosive. I really like her style of play, and I'm excited to be on the court with her. And then obviously Shanice, a young Aussie. Yeah, she's talented, super skilled, she's athletic, and watching her expand that and expand her IQ and prepare herself for hopefully come over here in next year or the year after, super exciting to see.
And then you guys have this opportunity to play in Edmonton in this preseason game. Just as an international, what does it mean to you to take the WNBA to other countries?
Yeah, I'm super excited to go. I've never been to Canada before, so that's super exciting. But yeah, we love to obviously get the game out there, expand to other countries, maybe like get some more fans, get some more viewers, and showcase what we can do.
Thank you, ladies. Thanks, y'all.
Good morning. I'm DJ from Infanity TV.
Oh, who's turn?
Good morning. It's back this season. This question is for Lexie. Lexie, most of the players in the coaching organization have come up and talked about your leadership role here. And my question for you is, last year you got it done by any means necessary. You played all over the court. How do you expect this season, your role this season on the court as a floor general to help the rookies to develop?
Oh, I mean, I think it's also by any means necessary, which is kind of the utility player that I am. But specifically, I think being a point guard, being that player who, you know, it's what I've done most of my career, and I'm doing it as a veteran now. It's just huddling the group, it's empowering the young players, also the older players too. I think we lose sight of that with people going through different things and journeys in their life, but it's really just bringing the older player, the young babies, like up to speed on everything. So that's teaching them the plays, that's being like, stay confident, that's like knowing their position because you have to help them with their spot, not only know your own spot. It's just kind of full circle moment for me. I've been really reflective on like having Tamika Catchings as a really good leader when I came into the league when I was at Indiana, and now I'm like a 12th year player who gets those chances to help build a foundation for a younger player, and I think that's really special and something that I take a lot of pride in, and I think it's a privilege.
Thank you. And this question is for Z.
Hi.
Last year you talked about returning to your natural forward position. So from training camp so far, what is your idea of what role you will play there? Are you going to be back in the natural four, or are you going to be a little bit more versatile with the team?
I think it'll be more versatile. I think mostly all of our posts can do a little bit of everything. So I think for all of us, and especially myself, I'll be able to play that 4 and 5 position, but still use my versatility to my advantage.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, Azura.
Hi.
Hey, for response to the Sport Tribune, last season, you went through some ups and downs, especially the whole team overall. You guys really got tough losing streak that kind of nailed it for you guys. But you guys kind of turned it around late in the season. How do you feel this team can kind of improve compared to last season? Of course, you guys are a lot younger this year. And I know you're right on your kind of schedules, 5, 6 more weeks to get reevaluated. What do you kind of feel like this team can do this season?
Yeah, I think for us returners, we can really build off of that stretch. Like you said, it was really tough, but we were able to bounce back. And despite all our injuries, we still were really successful in a lot of areas as a team. So I think we'll be able to use that experience, us returners, coming into this year. And then, like Leja said, teaching the younger guys that and the newcomers as well, just how we want to play basketball here, how we want to be successful, and yeah.
doing with the LA Times. This is a question for you, Alicia. You're such an experienced player on this team. I think you're probably the longest tenured WNBA player on this team. Now, at next time, but just...
That means I get to shoot the half-court shot first.
You earned it. This rookie class particularly, it means a lot to the league, not just on the court-wise, but off the court-wise. How are you as a veteran kind of helping them handle that sort of pressure as the league is trying to take the next step in terms of popularity and growth?
I mean, I think they get to come in and be who they are. I think the really beautiful part, one, I would say these young players have been dealing with the NIL landscape, so they're much more prepared than I think rookies that have come in the past, or than when I came into the league and I was like just getting a Twitter and figuring all this stuff out. So they're ahead of their curve already with that kind of stuff. I think it's really just helping them stay grounded in who they are, teaching them to be the players that they want to be on the court, and not getting caught in the noise. You know, like our league is growing and there's going to be a lot more noise. You're already seeing that from the outside in, which anytime you grow, it's a good thing, but you get more of that. And so how can we appreciate, respect the growth, absolutely want it, but know like there's going to be more, honestly, frankly, like shitstorm stuff that comes with it. And I think we're all going to have to learn how to handle that. Maybe not answer media questions all the time, like just being prepared for what is going to come with a bigger landscape. So teaching them that that's for media training, that they don't have to answer things, teaching them, you know, that staying off the socials when things go up and down, how to stay grounded in a 40-game season, which is grueling as a rookie. Your body, your fatigue, all that stuff that's going to come into play. I think it's just a holistic approach.
Mike, Matthew, and Infanity TV. This is for both of you guys. You guys were there, of course, last year. Now you're here on this team this year with the younger roster. What are the lessons that you can take away from last season for what all you guys went through that can kind of help you guys be successful this season?
I think just resilience. We had the most injuries in the league last year, and we were able to still be successful in different areas, and that's just going to be helpful for us this year with a younger team, 40 games, just the pace of how we're going to be playing the games and everything. So I think resilience is like a huge thing we can take from last year.
That's literally the word that I was going to use, was just, I think back to that Seattle game where like, I think we're looking at the score before Chicago, whoever, like we were out of the playoffs. The game like technically didn't matter. And I talked about this at the end of media coverage last season, but it was like, that game absolutely mattered. It mattered for like the character that we wanted to build as the players who were on that team. And I think that is what we're trying to instill in these rookies this year is like, it doesn't matter who you are. Like when you step on the court and you're wearing a Sparks jerseys, like there are non-negotiables that we will have, and you will be tough and you will be gritty and we will not get punked. Like those are things that like, it doesn't matter what you know, but you can play with a level of like grittiness and fierceness. And so that you cannot win in this league without having like a chip and an edge on your shoulder. And that's something of those kind of intangible characteristics that we learned from last year and we built on. I was really proud we won that game. And like Jewel was pissed. Like after she had the scoring record and she walked off the court, like we just lost the last game of the season. And we were like, that's how you finish a year that didn't go the way we wanted to, but I was really proud of that moment. I think that's already carrying over into this season.
Omar Stetson, independent, for both of you guys, but specifically Asia as a social justice advocate, how do you feel about the growth of women's basketball and women's sports, and what more needs to be done for women's sports to get respect?
Oh, I mean, can we reframe the question? I think we are seeing right now this moment of time, like for women's sports to grow, we needed investments. We've needed people to give us the media coverage that we deserve. You're seeing that with the big three right now at the Final Four. So I think it's less like, what do we need to do to grow the game? Like we're seeing that. And as the players, like we get to finally, in this moment of time, what I feel really good about is like, we get to just show up and do our jobs. Like we're being asked less to be like, you guys, grow the league and do this and be all of these, like wearing all these hats and juggling all these balls. It's like, no, we get to focus on the game, and like we get to focus on skill development and getting better and like between the lines, and like more of the powers that be, Raegan, all the people in our front office are like doing the things they need to do to continue to grow our game. So for us, the easy answer is just like keep being who we are. Like we've had these young talented players coming up through the ranks for years and years and years. This rookie class is really good. Caitlin's really good. All these players are, but like we've had talent throughout the years. And so now you're just seeing it, you know, finally displayed. And I think that's the cool part is like, I just get to show up and do my job, and that's like really, really fun to do. And I'm really grateful to be playing at a time where like the world is catching up to us, and I could have been retired by now, and like I'm actually still here playing this game, and like that's really cool, really special.
And I think it's really exciting too, just in honoring all the players who played before us.
Yeah.
There's been so much talent throughout this league from when it first started, from even before it started, and for us to be able to, like Lay said, now play, it's a way to kind of honor those players that didn't get as much attention. So that's really exciting too.
Last question is virtual from Brad.
Yeah, as I really Brad Rikea and the switch, can you both speak to your on-the-court and off-court room presence, how you feel that's going to impact the team, especially the new players, and how you're helping to bring the team chemistry all together?
Yeah, I think just being returners and going through everything we went through last year, it's really about just bringing everybody in, teaching them the ropes, kind of how we want to play basketball here in LA, while also continuing to create our new identity this year. We have a lot of new players, and with that comes a lot of excitement because there's a lot of opportunity to create a new identity. So I think for me and even for some of us other returners, like we're really just trying to welcome everybody in and also continue to shape and create that new identity.
I think it's really just leaning on experience. That's something, especially at this age that I am, the years of service that I am, is just, you know, this is a veteran league. So having gone through it, like having experience is like the probably most valuable thing you can have. So that's whether that's, hey, I know your body's tired, I know it's grueling, I know we go on win streaks, we go on losing streaks, like how to weather the storm is, I think, one of the most important things that I bring. And then it's just small things, how to get open on the wing, how to use your body, how to be physical. Like that's something I'm so proud of. I just have to shout out like Zaya. Coming into this season, like last year, I would just like beat the crap out of her in practice every day and just like bully her, like not let her get a catch. And she was just like, that's a foul. I was like, what was that? Like, you know? And then towards the end of the season, like I remember I was coming to get open and she just like, bow, and I couldn't catch the ball. And I was like, oh, I was like, okay, like you get it now, you're awake. And like watching Zaya this season in practice, like she's just out there dogging people. And like I go up to her every time and I'm like, yes, like that's what I'm talking about. She's like, I learned from the best. And I'm like, oh my God, crying because it's so beautiful to see, like that's the experience, because you don't get to come off a ball screen in this league, you don't get to come off a handoff without getting the crap beat out of you. Like that is our league. And so being able to instill that in younger players and then see them be empowered to be like, oh, now I'm beating up the next player, it's just like a beautiful full circle moment for me, and I think that's what's important.
Thank you both.
Awesome.
Thank you guys.
My name is Alan from Chinese Baller Vision. Want to hear from you your transition from being just finishing your Europe season and you're right here with the Sparks.
因为上个赛季确实也是在欧洲适应了一段时间，然后也是希望能够利用这个经历，我能够今年在WNBA 有一个更好的发挥。我也是希望今年作为一个新的球员，以一个更积极、更正面的一个表现，然后去呈现我自己，也希望我自己用全部的能量去帮助球队。
It's been a great experience in the Europe League, and it also it helps me improve a lot in terms of personality on the court, off the court, and that well prepared for myself to be here in the W this year and also for the Olympic in the following months.
还有一个问题就是，我们知道你是在欧洲打球赛季中被交易到火花队嘛，可以跟我们分享一下你当时是知道这个消息的心情，然后之后有没有和球队或者教练做一些沟通？谢谢。
Right in the middle of the season, in your season in Europe, you learned that you were traded to the Sparks. What did you feel at the moment, at that particular moment?
首先我是感到非常的兴奋的，因为在得知这个消息以后，我非常对于这个夏天我感到非常的期待，同时我也会感到有一点点紧张，因为我希望我能够真正的在 WNBA 的赛场上表现自己，也希望就是能够以一个最好的状态在这里打出最好的状态，然后也不辜负所有人对我的期待吧。
At the time, I was really excited, but at the same time, I was nervous that I can return to the W again, and hopefully, I will bring the best myself out to the game here in the W, and also to the team of Sparks.
Welcome to Los Angeles. What has it been like communicating with your new teammates, and how is your English coming along?
你的英语怎么样？
Hello everyone. My name. Thank you for question. My name is Yueru Li, and you can call me Li. It's easy for talking with me. And sorry, my English not good. I will try to use the English talk with everybody. I will learn more the English. I will try to learn more, and I will try to speak more. My teammates all the good and all the nice person, and they help me a lot. Everyone say nice job, Lee, great job, Lee, and you are do the very pretty something. I'm very appreciative for everyone and my staff, my coach. I think they help me feel good and like and sorry, they let me feel the good, and I really want to play the really good, and really want to play the best to help this team. And I know I'm the real center in this team. I will try to play the more low post in the low post and in the rebound and the defense to help this team. I try to do my best, and I hope I can with my teammates and our coach, our staff together to get great scores and get the maybe top. Yeah. Thank you.
I'm DJ from Infanity TV, and my question for you is, what has been your favorite part about playing in LA so far?
你在洛杉矶暂时你最喜欢的事情是什么？
Because I just arrived here maybe a few days, so I'm not trying to everything. I just stay in apartments and the court. I try to focus on the court. Maybe after the training camp, and when we have some off day or sometime, I will try to stay go to city work, because I feel the weather is very nice and the city is very beautiful. Thank you.
Okay, virtually we have Brad.
Hello. Sorry, could you speak up a little bit? My apology, could you repeat the first part?
With
他说你有机会跟一些美国顶尖的一些大学球员同队，你的感想是什么？可以讲中文。
我可以sorry，
你直接讲中文就可以。
因为 我能够来到这里，跟这些顶尖的大学选手，包括顶尖的就是 WNBA 的选手一起交手，这就是一件让我非常感到兴奋的事情。我也希望能够跟这些人面对面交流，然后跟这些人接触的更多，提升我自己的水平，同时帮助我的球队变得更好。然后也希望因为我们队现在也有非常好的就是顶尖的大学选手，我也希望和他们并肩作战，然后帮助我们的队伍提升，然后帮助我们队伍取得更好的成绩。
It's very excited to play with some of the best college players on the team. Well, now they are professionals, and also some of the best in the W that already established their games. And looking forward to this season and learn from them.
Michael Matthew here, and it is a wrap, DJ.
It's a wrap.
The LA Sparks Media Day is all done here at El Camino. As you can see behind us, the seats are empty. We heard some great things today from Coach, from GM Raegan, and the players as well. Is there anybody that stood out to you for what they had to say?
To be honest, I was most excited to hear from Raegan. I just like hearing the direction that the organization is going in, the excitement, the focus on mental health, players' actual well-being overall. Those are the things that stood out most. I'll let you know on the show my player specific feedback. What about you?
I love to hear from the players. Just they see the vision, right? They see the vision with this team. They see the vision for the league, for the W, as the growth is happening with these big-time players coming in. So to hear their excitement, they understand how big it is, the opportunity that they have. If the Sparks can excel this year, how many fans that are going to be coming in to check them out. So just hearing them and that excitement for this season has been very fun to me today. We were able to ask our questions in and get some great answers. Of course, you know I love T and Ray there with Zaya, and they were talking because they're ready to give the team a boost this year. So it's some exciting times for the LA Sparks.
Yep, and you know what? I think everybody is underestimating these Sparks. They are seeing that NECA left. They're seeing all these super teams form. And they are counting out these young people who have this explosive athleticism and excitement for the game. So I'm most excited to see how this season plays out because right now we the underdogs. The Sparks didn't finish great last year, but they have a commitment to win this year. I'm excited to see how that actually goes.
And, you know, here today for this media day, just 3 days into training camp, so they're still figuring things out. But I can trust in a veteran coach like Coach Miller. He's a guy that can help this team, you know, go over the top. So I'm excited for it.
Same. So we'll check back in with y'all. Thank you for tuning in. We will be in studio for the Canada game. And we're excited for that one. So definitely stay locked in with Infanity TV and follow us on Instagram at LA Sparks Weekly.
Peace.